Greetings, Jay Stone here. It's a beautiful day to be alive on this special Era's Gone Bullet Molds edition of the Cap Ball Chronicles. Hey, you're going to want to stick around today because we're going to be comparing conicals to round balls off the bench for accuracy, through the chronograph for energy and power, and at distance for fun. So why don't you stay with us all the way through and make sure you pick up all of the findings in today's special edition of the Cap Ball Chronicles. Thanks to the graciousness of Mark Hubbs, the owner of Era's Gone Bullet Molds. He sent me a mold for his newer 36 caliber Colt Navy Conical bullet, 140 grains. This mold was made based on the specs of an original 1850s Colt Navy Conical bullet mold, where millions of these things were made in the 50s and the 60s through the Civil War. This is about as exact a replica of the Colt Navy 36 caliber that you can get. 140 grains, 380 at its widest point. So today we're going to put it to the test in one of my 1851 Colt Navies. And here is, I hope you can see that, here is the conical bullet, the original looking Colt Navy conical bullet, 140 grains, 36 caliber. It's 380, which I like because I use 380 round balls. And what we're going to do is I'm going to load these. We're going to fire some off of the bench. We're going to fire them at targets. We're going to compare how they feel and how they shoot to some 380 round balls. And then once we're through that, we'll shoot some offhand at different targets like we usually do. Let's get started. We're going to shoot off the bench at about 22 yards, 23 yards at paper, and we're going to see if we can get a group going. So let's give it a go. Aiming right at the red dot. As usual, the hardest part about shooting off the bench is getting my big behind down to the bench. No, we got one more. I can't count. Public school education. Can't count to 6. That one's right on the bullseye. But for comparison's sake, now we're going to put 12 380 round balls. And I'm shooting those 380 round balls. Everything is the same, 17 grains of 3F Swiss black powder. I'm using a lubed wad and the 380 round ball. Now, this gun, this 1851 Navy squareback, is by Pieta. And Pieta's twist rate is usually 1 in 30. So, if I were to hypothesize, given the 1 in 30 twist and not the tighter twist, which is more made for conicals, conical accuracy, I would guess that the 1 in 30 twist, this would probably do better with round balls than it did with conicals. But I've seen others say that, and it didn't work out that way. So let's check it out. Six more. 380 round balls. Let's see how we do. So when I was shooting these, both the conicals and the round balls next to each other, one right after another on the bench, it feels like there's a lot more recoil, more pop to the conical. So I have the chronograph out here, and I'm going to shoot it from the bench this time, because for those of you that remember the last time I used the chronograph, shooting it offhand, I shot the chronograph. So I'm going to try not to hit the chronograph today, and we're going to put 6 Colt Navy Conicals, hopefully through it, not into it, and we'll see what our results are. Let's go. All right, we're going to put 6 380 round balls, lubed wad, 17 grains of Swiss 3F black powder through the chronograph. We'll make our comparisons. Okay, we've done our examining, we've done our testing. Now let's have some fun. 31 yards, 36 caliber Navy conical bullet from 31 yards at Big Orange. Now that we've shot it off the bench and we were able to hit something, let's see if I can hit it free-handed. It's always a risk, but let's try. Okay, so you know I like to finish on long shots, right? Well, here I am out at 50 yards, about ready to put 6 at Big Yellow, and I realized that I didn't cast enough Colt Navy Conicals to finish the video. So I have 1 shot. That's all I've got, is 1 shot from about 52 yards. Boy, that is some enormous pressure, don't you think? Let's take that 1 shot and see if we can finish on a high note. All right, so I hope you enjoyed today our comparisons between the Ears Gone bullet mold 36 caliber Colt Navy Conical and 380 round balls from time to time. We compared them, as you recall, in accuracy off the bench. We did the string test and the Conicals came out on top. About 12% tighter group than the round balls. We counted the top 10 out of 12 because I had flyers, 2 flyers for both of them. So so that's how I did it, and it came out about 12% better. When we put these through the chronograph, thank God we put them through it and not on it. Clearly, the heavier weight conical bullet from Ears Gone bullet mold made a big difference. It trounced the round balls using the same powder charge of 17 grains in both foot-pounds or feet per second and foot-pounds of energy, with foot-pounds of energy being 57% greater on average. So now I know why people wanted conicals when they were in battle, because I'm telling you what, if you bring that conical, this conical, the way it measured today, to a gunfight, you've got stopping power. The Ears Gone Company is an outstanding company. I'll talk about that later. They're keeping history alive by giving us the actual ability to make the actual conical bullets across the spectrum. If you go to their website, I'll put the link to their website in the show notes. Go to their website. We can get our hands on basically the same ammunition that our ancestors used, starting way back with the Dragoon and the 1849 pocket round, all the way through the Civil War. So I think as much as anybody in our industry and anybody in our business, anybody in our hobby, Ears Gone Bullet Molds, Ears Gone Bullet Molds is keeping history alive. God, you got to respect and love that, because the work that goes into this must be enormous. I don't know Mr. Hubbs. I've chatted with him once or twice, but I have big respect for anybody that decides to start a company based on keeping history alive and all of the work and the detail that must go into the work that he does to produce one of these molds. So please patronize him. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for coming along. Hope you stayed all the way through so you could see everything we did, and we even hit our 150-yard shot at the end. Boom! All right, Jay Stone again. Thanks for coming. We'll see you again on down the road the next time. Oh yeah, by the way, we've had so much fun today that I think you should stop before you leave YouTube. You should pay attention to this video right here, and have a good weekend.